Welcome, welcome. Pop your pollets and pack your purses. Squirt a load of mayonnaise on your fish and chips, young beans, for it's hipster poetry time with Ollie.
Our Hipster, a poem by James and Ollie. One day, our hipster was sitting around his friend's apartment. As he smoked his morning cig, he realized he had no more ciggies or butts. He looked and he looked, but not one in sight. One's mind could start to slip in this nicotine plight. The nicotine pains were severe and could affect his heart. He knew he was an artist and would put it to art. And he did. He drew a magnificent creation, expressing his joys and fears, undeterred by his condition. Despite his great art, the craving was too much, and our hipster headed downtown. Through the alleys, through the streets, not even a smoker's lung or a nicotine fiend's heartbeats. What's this? Something is amiss? That snare in the trap was his goal, a full pack of cigarettes. Should he? Could he? Would he? Amazingly, his brain fires off a rare sequence of rationalization that occasionally produces a good decision or a lucky delusion. Even though he avoided the danger, he doubted his competent decision. He had to continue on, once again through the alleys, through the streets, hoping to smell the pleasant scent of smoked Swisher sweets. He soon stumbles upon the hippest of the hipster clan, the one and only, not too mainstream, Jean-Paul McDan. In typical hipster fashion, he was fashionably out of smokes, and on his own quest for the cancerous tokes. On our hipster went in search of the discarded treasures, the type that usually filled others' ashtrays and containers. With cigs on the brink, our hipster began to think. What if the stories and rumors about the fabled butt pit were true? Many have tried and failed in vain, and what he knew only came from Chengdu. From around the corner, a wise elder in the community approached on his cycle. His striped bike parts could only be made from Goodwill or recycle. Flagging him down, our hipster stated his nicotine quest. The wise elder grinned, then smiled his smoky best, and he made this response.
Well, flesh this, flesh is flesh, this flesh will mesh, this flesh lips hips, this oh dead fish will flesh my hips, well this.
Obviously this man was a genius, our hipster thought, but our hipster's victory would soon be Pyrrhic, surely if he stayed for this man's Susian lyric. Again he walked through the alleys and through the streets for about a mile, in his search for maybe a roach of an old black and mild. When things looked hopeless and all was but defeat, he sat down and contemplated retreat. Through sweat and tears he saw on the ground something that it made his heart begin to pound. Success! There in the drainage were 3 partially smoked cigs that equaled a whole stogie. How they escaped the long-reaching arm of the polluted water was anyone's story. Without a doubt, he would have smoked them dry or soggy. Once back home, he smoked his trophies, forgetting to conserve in all his hurries. Now once more, there are no butts or bits of tobacco to be found. He knows now his logic is not flawed but sound. Through the alley and through the streets, our hipster goes while his nicotine heart still beats.